kind of weak.
Was it? Oh, I loved it.
It's just a little too quiet. It didn't like go like crunchy. Are you guys sick of these intros?
Yeah, actually,
I'm kind of sick of it.
Are you? Oh, I love it. I saw a couple comments. We didn't do it one day, and someone was like, "It's weird not hearing the crack of the
They're
can."
probably so thirsty.
But someone called out that we didn't do it.
Yeah. Okay. Let us know if you guys like it still.
I like poppin' bev.
I don't have any bev. I have water. Here, you guys can listen to my straw open.
I didn't know I could feel like that.
Water. That was actually right before this. I took a sip of water. It's 1:34 p.m. and that was my first sip of water today, and that's just really bad. I don't usually do that. I usually like to drink water like right as I wake up.
And you had coffee.
Yeah, I just went right into it today.
Yeah.
I had weird dreams last night. I was like tossing and turning. I woke up late today. It's just one of those days, but it's Friday, so
it is Friday.
I give myself grace.
And the weather has been so gross the past 3 days. It's like rainy, stormy. We're having like a windstorm. Stormy, baby. We're having like a windstorm right now, and it's just me. And I started my period today, so it's just making me want to snuggle up on the couch in a little circle.
The past 2 days, it been around like the low 70s and like very little humidity, so it really felt like fall.
Yes.
Past 2 days, like we've had the door open and we're not all sticky and sweaty, and I was even curled up with a blanket on the couch yesterday. Like was really nice. And then boom, we wake up today and I'm like, oh no, it's still summer.
Back.
It's still fucking summer and it's gross. So not quite there yet. I feel like I do this every late summer.
You're ready for it.
I start like forcing it. Like I took a bath yesterday and I got out of the bath. I was like, Alex,
you were like actually overheating.
I think something was happening. I was like nauseous and I was literally in the bath, like waving myself. I was sweating in the bath.
Yeah.
Like my face was just dripping like into the bath.
It's like being in a sauna in the middle of summer.
And I thought I was like, oh, it's cozy. Like no, it's not time yet, everybody.
No.
So enjoy the rest of your summer.
But having lived here 2.5-ish years now, a little over 2 years, I think late summer, early fall, I'm going to say like September. And I'm not saying that because it's my birthday month, guys, but I think that's my favorite month in New York City.
September's, even if you look on like TripAdvisor, it says
oh, is it?
September and October are like the best months.
Oh, I
in
didn't
New
know
York.
that.
Because you're still getting like the cozy New York vibe, but you're not like shivering going to your taxi and like
right. And
it's like a manageable
like,
cold.
Exactly. And it's not a sweaty, humid heat either.
That goes without saying. And yeah, I guess it's still like honestly, it's always touristy here. It's either touristy or extra touristy. There's no like less touristy, in my opinion.
It's always touristy because there's the people that argue we want to go in the summer to like be able to walk around and see everything. But then like winter here is
it's just as bad.
Christmas and New Year's. It's just all New York.
Everyone wants to go see Saks Fifth and like, I mean, Fifth Avenue is pretty magical.
Yeah,
during
it
Christmas
really
season.
is.
And then
in Rockefeller,
Broadway, or at least they did this last winter, like the last or the first one of those Sunday of every month, they actually like shut down the street and you were able to just like fully walk the street and
like all the winter markets and stuff.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. It's definitely the most magical place I've ever lived around the holiday season. Even San Francisco is not as magical as it is here. God, LA is
Christmas doesn't exist in LA.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Even like Thanksgiving, I think I've spent like, actually no, I've spent quite a bit of Christmases in LA, but I've spent a lot of Thanksgivings in LA, and I just every time I'm like, it's hot. Like I'm not in this,
feel it.
And then the house is like uncomfortable. Whereas usually when it's cold outside, you come inside because the oven has made the house so warm, and
it like smells like cookies cozy and turkey and stuff.
No, in LA it's like
hot,
it's just gross. And yeah, LA doesn't count for this.
I don't think I spent a single holiday in LA the 3 years that I lived there.
Yeah, you go back to the Bay every time. Yeah.
And I would spend 2 full weeks in the Bay.
Yeah, you would. Oh yeah, I remember that. And then sometimes even into New Year's. There was 1 year where
I would do the 2 weeks.
I remember I got straddling.
COVID. Yeah.
I had to come back to LA.
Oh yeah.
I remember
2019.
Yeah. Okay.
It's when COVID like
nobody
wasn't...
knew it. I had it before everybody else had it. COVID was just like this underground vibe. And it was 2019 and I was staying in a hotel because I brought Link and I got like a dog hotel in the city. We just like had our whole like, it was Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Like a normal Christmas, whatever. And then I remember it was like maybe like the 27th. And I started feeling, I was sitting in my hotel room, like all alone with Link. And my plan was to stay throughout like New Year's and shit. And I was like, I kind of feel icky right now. And I think I would rather just be sick at home than sick at a hotel.
But it was a sickness that you had never felt before. And like COVID like actually wasn't a thing yet. No one had known what it was. But once COVID hit and you had it again, you were like, oh, this is exactly the same thing I had in 2019.
Yep. Yeah. So I remember and especially now knowing how COVID hits you, I remember being like, okay, I checked out of my hotel early. I like luckily got my money back for the days that I canceled. I get in the car on the 5 and I just started feeling the chills coming in and like the headache behind the eyes. And I was driving like, over the grapevine, like I'm almost home. And then I just remember I like clunked out until honestly like fucking January 3rd. And then you guys finally came back. And I was like, hey guys, here. I'm like a little like worm, little baby. Happy New Year. That was bad.
What a time.
Yeah, for real. I don't want to talk about COVID anymore.
We saw, what did we see last night?
Longlegs.
Did you have nightmares?
I mean, I told you my dream. I guess you could consider that a nightmare, but
right.
No, it wasn't like anything to do with the movie Nightmare, but I was thinking more about the movie. Why was it called Longlegs?
I think that's just like a name he gave himself. Maybe it has something to do with the devil. Yeah, the devil. They referenced the Bible a lot. They referenced, what's that book? The 9 stars of Satan or something. 9 signs. Yeah, something. There's another book that they reference in regards to the devil. And I'm thinking it's probably in there.
Because they should have covered that.
That was actually a part that I was disappointed in the movie. I wanted them to go more into like why he left the letters with the codes, and like they kind of brushed out when she, spoiler alert, when she deciphered the letters. I wanted to like see what did they say? Why did he leave each? Right? Yeah, what? And she was like, she deciphered how many of it was, like 11 or 14 or something like that. It was a good amount of letters that this Longlegs left at every single one of his murders. And when she deciphered them, she was like, so the gist is, and then like it led them to this barn where the first murder happened. But I just,
how did she get to that?
Yeah, I want to know what the letters said. It's like
there was one that they revealed and it said down low, too slow.
Yeah,
I was like, that's like a high five thing.
And it probably was because he targeted young girls, so maybe it was
like a little game.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. Like that context would have made the story really cool, like really intricate. But I think the fact that like that like black magic I don't know. I kind of interpret it as like it's part of their soul that he puts in that steel ball that goes into the
well, it's part of his soul.
The dolls though, but like it's connected to them.
Yeah,
it's like to protect them and everything. That I think writes off a lot of her knowing of everything.
Yeah,
I think that's what they put in the story.
It was control. He was able to control her.
I'm talking on like a writing level. Like that made it so they didn't have to give an answer like you just said. They were like, oh, well, she just knew because like he was in her.
Yeah.
Which I think is a cop out.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm seeing that. But it's like, yeah, like
it's just like, really?
I wanted more from the movie. I liked it. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. I give it like an 8 out of 10.
The visual was beautiful. Mm-hmm. It was very like intriguing to watch. I'll say the first 2/3 of the movie were really slow and really drawn out, and I loved the ending and how like boom, 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 everything happened. Mm-hmm. But there was just so much we didn't see.
Yep. Yeah,
everything was just referenced.
Yep. The perfect way to say it. Everything was referenced, and like if we did have a flashback to something, it was like we saw it in a highlight reel up until literally like the axe comes down and then it cuts to like present day. Like we didn't get to see like anything. I want to see the axe go through their head. Yeah. Like, you know, like I'm trying to see some shit.
Especially for Longlegs, you go into a scary movie and like we like gore.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to see some.
And it's been so hyped. And I don't think it was necessarily like too overhyped. I do think it was still a very good film, but like I thought it, I mean, the before and afters of people being like me before, me after, and it's them like sitting in silence in their car, like
relax. I think that part was overhyped
for sure. But I guess everybody does interpret these scary movies so different. I'm curious to hear what you guys think, those of you who have seen it, because I was talking to Kaya and she was saying she like shit her pants, like it was like too fucking scary. But some people,
but maybe, I'm telling you, it was very eerie and like beautiful to watch. And I had the creeps like the whole time.
Yes. I was more scared of the mom though.
Yes.
By a fucking landslide.
Like Nicolas Cage did great. The casting was amazing.
I love the casting, yeah. I
guess just like storyline and plot line flow, that's where it faltered for me.
And the mom's wig was super whack.
Yeah.
It did, like, she was supposed to look like this old woman. Like, she had, like, a synthetic, like, pewter wig.
Right. Literally from, like, Party City.
Yes.
I was going to say, she looked older in the flashback scenes where she would have theoretically been younger, of course.
Mm-hmm. I thought so, too.
She flipped. Maybe that was, like, kind of a nod to once you sell your soul to the devil.
A little bit of youth or something.
Yeah.
And her hair went, like, super straight. I don't know. Yeah,
or maybe they were all wigs and it was just like something that they didn't allude to.
Maybe, yeah. This is one of those I would like to rewatch for that reason, like little things like that. But the one part that my heart really did start racing was when she was like, honey, be honest. Do you like pray anymore?
And she started laughing.
I was like, I actually hate this.
That was
right
crazy.
Now. I like that part scared me. The mom scared me way more than
everything
Longlegs did. And yeah, she was the most eerie. She was casted so well. Like I always kind of feel bad saying this because these are obviously real people, but like her face is scary. But she just knows how to move her face. Like she's an incredible actor. And I don't know her name, but I hope to see her in more horror because like
it was
once you have a horror face, you're casted.
Oh
everywhere.
yeah.
And like, I wonder if she's actually maybe been in other things I'm not just recognizing, but she was
incredible.
Good.
She was incredible.
She made me freaked out though.
The whole cast, even the main character, even in the very end scene when the mom shoots the doll and essentially like breaks the brain of what was controlling Lee, it made me think back to the earlier scenes where she was so like stoic and didn't say anything. And like, I thought she was just kind of like a weirdo.
Like a weird old lady.
But now obviously she was under his mind control.
Yeah. Yeah. The first phone call they had when she was like, hi, honey. I was like, you're weird.
Yeah. The mom for sure.
The mom.
Yeah.
She's super weird. But
thinking about how Lee, when she went to her boss's house and was talking to her daughter, it was like the third scene.
Oh, and she's on the bed.
Yeah.
And she's like, come to my birthday party.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Like the whole time
she's
she
weird.
was just but she was under his control.
Right. The bed scene specifically when she's on the bed with Ruby, I thought it was like funny though. Like they made her like just kind of awkward.
Totally.
And like even when she walked in the house and the mom was like, hi, like good to meet you. And she was like, she just like didn't say anything.
No.
Imagine.
Yeah. Weirdo. She's
fucking
like,
weirdo.
And then when he was like, before that, when he asked her to come in the house to meet his family, do I have to? That'd be me. I don't want to.
Are you sure I am?
I don't want to go in.
I loved the moment when we realized the devil had taken over the detective.
Yes.
When she got to the birthday party and he opened the door, I was like,
and he flashed back. He like, the look he gave.
He like looked outside the door and like closed it. I was like,
oh, it's happening.
I got the chills.
See that, like that sequence of events and all of those scenes. I wanted that the whole movie.
I guess it would have been a completely different story if they had the context to be able to be so boom, 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 the whole movie. That story would have had to be like, they would have had to
developed.
Like how Longlegs started, which would have been cool.
Yeah.
How did he start? And like, why does his face look like that? And like, what did he do before he met the Harkers? And like, I don't know, just that would have been really cool. But I think it just would have been a different story too. I think a big part of slow horror is what makes it scary.
And like the unknown too.
You're just sitting there, because as slow as it was, like context wise, I was like waiting for something to happen.
It's the anticipation.
But then it does get disappointing. So it's finding that like perfect in between of like,
right.
Let the audience be like on their edge of their seat waiting for something, but like deliver it in a timely manner.
Totally.
I don't think they completely missed the mark, but I think they could have hit it a little bit better.
Yeah, it's one of those that I'll watch again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like a creepy night at home.
I will say, I was actually talking about this with one of my friends. If you do want to see it in theaters, because I don't think it'll be as scary as at home.
Right.
At all. I mean, which you can argue with almost any horror movie, but like this one specifically, since you're obviously surround sound is amazing, but like since you're so submerged in the story and like you're not on your phone, and at least for me, I like if I watch movies at home, like I'm looking at Link on the floor, or I'm like,
right,
I gotta pee,
gotta be like locked
go get
into
water.
it.
Yeah,
and the camera view, camera view
too.
changes. It goes from film to widescreen, and it really does like add something to the story.
Cool to see.
Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah,
I loved the beginning ish scene where he's in his car. It's a side view of him driving and he starts screaming.
Yes.
And then the end scene,
she does
when
it
she's
too.
driving in the same car.
Yep.
Oh, it was
such a good full circle moment.
There was a part of me towards the end before we like the whole story unfolded where I thought he might be her dad. I don't know if you got that too.
No, I didn't.
Oh, there were so many like juxtaposing scenes like that where they would show him doing something and then her doing something similar. And I was like, oh my God, maybe she was spared because he's her dad. Yeah. And I think there probably was some kind of like father, in his eyes, father figure for him because he lived in the same house. He was obviously tied to the mom for so long, and like the happy birthday.
Yeah.
And when she walked in and he was like, oh my God, Lee, like he probably loved her like $1, $1.
$1. That's you.
Me. Daughter.
Oh,
yeah.
Poor
I totally
guy.
got that vibe, right?
Why do I feel bad for him? When he bashed his face.
Yeah, that was crazy. Oh, Nicolas Cage, I fucking love him.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see him in something like that. That
he did brilliantly.
I didn't even know that was him. Like,
No.
if you didn't tell me that was him, I don't think I would have known.
You don't think you'd be able to pick out his voice is so Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, but I would have just assumed like, this actor knows how to make a similar voice. I would just think it's a coincidence rather than like, wait, is it? Because I would just never would think that'd be where his career went. But I love it. Like and he produced it. Like, isn't he? He's a big part of the film, right?
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah, I loved him in that.
I love seeing that someone in the film being a big part of the production.
Yes,
it's such like that's a touch that you can't replicate. Like I was talking about that with Liza, even when there are directors, whether they're in the film or not, but if they were previously or simultaneously actors in other things, that is such another level of directing that like just a person that's only a director and has never acted can never see. Like you obviously just have that like kind of 360 mentality, and you know how to present things, how to tweak things, how they'll read on screen. You give probably even better feedback to all the actors on site and everything. Right. I can only imagine. That's so cool.
I want to know like I want to see some press around this movie. Like I want to see.
We haven't got any really.
I want to see him in an interview talking about his role and his role in the film, and also his role with producing and everything. I think that'd be so interesting.
I feel like I'd never see that type of deep dive with horror. I wonder if they do that on purpose because it like takes away the scary. Because like,
oh, interesting.
It can live as like
true story, right? Like he's really that creepy guy.
Yeah, or like that's just not him. That's Longlegs.
Yeah,
like maybe that's why. Because I feel like other than like Smile, like which is like stupid,
and that had like hella press around it.
Yeah, I feel like any of these like really really scary movies, there's not much press. Okay, spoiler alert over. But we did another horror note. We saw the Smile 2 trailer. I think it looks pretty good.
I think it looks good. I'm just remembering how disappointed. The bar is so low. Yeah. I did not like the first one. And I very rarely will say like a scary movie is too cheesy for me to watch, because it's kind of a given these days, especially with that kind of like someone's walking around smiling, passing on
but it's a freaky smile.
It's super freaky. but it's a given for me that it's gonna have some level of cheesiness. But when I walked out of the first one, I was like, oh my God, that was actually like,
we were like laughing.
yes, cringy
And we were just
laughing.
like looking at each other, like smiling. And
Yeah.
that was all we got from it.
Totally. Oh, also follow up ish. I talked about seeing Trap a couple episodes ago, maybe last episode.
Yeah.
I talked about how they went to a concert, right? And like a majority of the movie, everything happened at the concert.
I don't remember this.
No?
Uh-uh.
How did I leave this out?
I don't know. I think maybe
I didn't want to tell you.
You didn't want to tell me.
Well,
this is a spoiler because I do want to see it.
It's not a spoiler for the plot.
Okay.
So everything happened, like goes down at a concert.
Okay.
A majority of the movie is like cuts from the concert, like the artist singing, and then the artist starts to get involved in the actual like plot of the storyline. But I found out that the artist is the daughter of M. Night Shyamalan.
Who's that?
In real life, the director and the producer of the film.
Cool.
So he put his daughter in one of the main characters' roles and cut together basically a whole set list of her new album that she's dropping. So the movie was like for his daughter.
Flex.
So I think that's where, and like,
Crazy.
remember I was talking about how I wasn't able to place if it was satire or horror or like where they were going with it.
It was an album listening film.
Yes. And the album is on Spotify. Because so many people,
cool. Okay.
and like the songs were, it's not anything that like I think I would listen to. It's very like Gaga-esque.
Okay.
Not even, I don't even want to do Gaga like that. But it's
like it's electric pop.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. With some like ballads in there. But I guess I saw a couple TikToks of people like going to look up the songs because they like the song so much, and they saw it was a full like released album, and then it's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
That's cool.
And also a billboard from his other daughter's movie that is either out or coming out or has already been out that she was an actress in, was also in the movie. So he's just like promoting his daughter's work, which, okay, sure, M. Night Shyamalan, like he could do whatever the fuck he wanted. He has like, a Rolodex of career that he's given in the film industry. But like,
so cool. But I'm also like really jealous of nepo babies.
Right. Like she was probably like, Dad, make me a movie.
Just my dad.
He'd be like,
a
sure.
what?
A film?
I'd catch you a bear. Oh yeah, that's cool. And like, if you could do it, do it. But I'm also like, I don't know, earn it by yourself.
Right.
I don't know. I feel so bitter.
Let me find her artist on Spotify.
While she finds that, like, my point on that is, if I could speak on the nepo baby community real quick, because I have no place to talk, but I'm like, I understand these nepo babies have like all these resources, no matter their industry they're trying to go into. Like, generally speaking, if their parents are of status, they obviously are exposed to higher resources if they want to start a product line or do an album or whatever. And my thing is like, obviously you're going to go to your family for like advice on things, knowing that they're like the top of their industries, whatever that may be. But if I was like a nepo parent, I guess, I'd be like, hey, like I could give you advice, but like you need to do it all yourself.
Right. Like if her music wasn't popping off already, you know?
And it would even be like one thing if he put like one song in like the credits.
Right.
But you're saying like it was
the whole
album.
Film
like that's
was the concert.
That's crazy. Or like even just, like have it on the soundtrack. Sure. Yeah. Sure. But like, I don't know.
And she was she was performing. She, like I said, she got involved in the plot line towards the end of the film. So So her name is, her artist name is Saleka, Saleka. And her whole discography is songs from the film. And in the film, she goes
Kid
by
Cudi?
Yeah.
Russ?
She goes by Lady Raven. And yeah, Kid Cudi and Russ were in the film because they were features on songs.
Damn.
Right.
Whatever. I'll go to listen. I'm jealous.
Watch the movie first.
Oh, why?
I don't think there's no spoilers or anything, but I just think you'll want to see the layout of the film.
Damn, and even her album covers like literally the thing for the movie. Like,
yeah.
At least have it stand alone. I don't know.
Has she dropped anything else besides the music from the movie?
Not that I'm seeing.
Okay.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me press. Oh, yeah. Seance. Another album in 2023. Oh, and then she has more music in, Servant on Apple TV. Okay, so maybe she's into like film music.
Okay.
Yeah, look. Another one in the movie Old.
Okay.
Okay, I'm starting to understand.
Did M. Night Shyamalan do Old?
I don't know. Who is that?
He's a really big director. He did The Sixth Sense,
Wow.
Trap, Unbreakable. He did all the Split, Glass movies.
I love those.
He did Old.
Okay, I'm pissed again.
Right? He did The Visit. He did Signs. He did The Watchers, the new one with Dakota Fanning. He's done a lot of shit. He did Devil, the elevator one.
I like that one.
He did She's All That.
That's a little random one.
Right. Maybe that was early on in his. Or maybe I don't know if he
like
directed everything I just said. Yeah, but he's been on.
He did Stuart Little. Stuart Little.
The Last Airbender.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of these clearly like thriller, horror.
Ooh, The Visit.
Yeah, The Visit.
Spooky.
But yeah, apparently his daughter is his new assistant.
This top story under his name says, Trap Review. And an initially cool premise that goes nowhere interesting. Is that true?
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know. That's kind of like harsh and dry.
I'd love to be a movie critic.
I was so into the film because I was so like, where is this going?
Right.
And what stance are we taking here?
You just wanted to see it through.
Yeah.
If you watched it at home, would you have turned it off?
I wasn't bored by any means.
Okay. I need to watch it.
Yeah, you should watch it.
I do need to watch it. This episode is brought to you by NOCD. Ever had a disturbing thought pop up into your head, even though you didn't want it to be there, but you just felt like you couldn't stop thinking about it?
Maybe you worried about what this unwanted thought said about you, so you started continuously asking your friend for reassurance or Googled nonstop to see what it can mean. But no matter what you did, it didn't seem to help. And then maybe this spiraled into more intrusive thoughts, causing you daily distress. Did you know these experiences can be signs of OCD? There's a lot more to OCD than the stereotypes you might have seen. It's a debilitating condition that involves unwanted thoughts that totally conflict with who you are as a person, along with physical or even mental behaviors you may do to try to get rid of the resulting stress and anxiety.
And to make matters harder, OCD can latch onto literally anything in your life, your relationships, your sexuality, your morals, your identity, anything you care about. It can look different for everyone, but one thing is consistent. OCD is exhausting, frustrating, isolating, and can become totally debilitating.
But it doesn't have to stay that way because with the right care, OCD is highly treatable, and that's where NOCD comes in. With NOCD, you could do live, face-to-face virtual therapy sessions with therapists who really understand OCD and are trained in exposure and response prevention, or ERP therapy, the gold standard treatment for OCD. They can help you take the power away from distressing thoughts, reclaim your time, and get back to focusing on what you love.
Plus, NOCD accepts many major insurance plans and provides always-on support between sessions. To learn more about therapy with NOCD, go to nocd.com and schedule a free 15-minute call with their team. That's NOCD.com to learn more and book a free 15-minute call. Trust me, it's the kind of advice that you actually want to take.
Thanks, NOCD.
Hi guys. So I'm sure you've heard of the flavored air category quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking. It's a whole new movement towards better habits, led by the sponsor of today's episode, Fume.
Fume is an award-winning flavored air device, and flavored air isn't like vaping, so there's no vapor, no nicotine, and non-toxic flavors.
Yeah, so think about it. If vapor was compared to a sticky soda, Fume cores are closer to an herbal tea. There are several flavors to choose from, like crisp mint and orange vanilla.
Ours are actually on their way, and I can't wait to try the orange vanilla.
The mint's gonna be nice. I love like the cool tone with like
so
a
refreshing,
crispy cold bev. Oh, baby.
With Fume, you can easily satisfy your oral fixation, and what's great is they don't use any batteries, so you'll never need to charge it, and they won't combust on you.
Not only is it a high quality design, but it's made to fidget with, so it really calms your anxiety. It has little magnets, snaps, and clicks, which is amazing. You guys know we're pickers of our fingers and whatnot, so I just know I'm gonna love this.
Fume continuously invests in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, and it's backed by doctors in the U.S.
Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you could be the next success story. For a limited time, use our code Oddvice to get a free gift with your journey pack.
Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfume.com fume.com and use code Oddvice to get a free gift with your order today.
Thanks, Fume.
So today's topic kind of came to because of something that we encountered yesterday, and it kind of just got our minds turning as it does.
Going.
The gears were turning. Yesterday, 2 days ago, we went and sat.
Yesterday.
Was that yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It does feel like a long time ago.
Yeah, time goes slow. Kristen and I went and just worked at a cafe. We both had things to do on the computer. So we were like, let's get out of the house. We'll go to this really cute little cafe that we found. We'd never been there before. And first of all, I loved it there.
I got shit done.
The vibe was perfect. Not too many people. Big brown leather couch.
Mm-hmm. It was cozy and the coffee was excelente.
Oh my God, it was so good.
That's great.
So we were there for a few hours. This girl comes in with, I'm assuming boyfriend, by the way, they were like sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
With her boyfriend.
I'm nervous.
They both order a coffee and they come and they sit right next to us. Immediately, he starts taking photos of her.
It brings out like a full like DSLR.
Yeah.
Like, not just like iPhone photos.
Full camera. And she like has the cup to her mouth and she's fully posing to take photos, and she's like switching up her poses, and then they eventually switch spots. So she's like standing in the middle of the cafe, like posing, walking around. And I'm like sitting here working and I'm looking at it, and it's making me think. She doesn't take one sip of the coffee. And it's just making me think like, oh my God, she walked in here just to get a photo with the coffee and in a very beautiful aesthetic cafe to get the photo and left. Mm-hmm. And it made me really think of, it kind of made me spiral a little bit, because it made me think of all the times I've been on social media and I'm scrolling and I'm seeing like, oh my God, these people in Cabo, I wish I was in Cabo. These people at this really cool event, I wish I was at the cool event. Everything that we see online that kind of draws us in because it's so beautiful and it's a life that we aspire to have. It made me think what percentage of it is built for us to envy it, or if it's just a very like natural
shared experience.
Yeah, shared experience.
Mm-hmm. I have that thought a lot too. And I mean, I was right next to Alex as it was happening, and it's interesting because my perspective of it with the work I do, I'm like, oh hell yeah, like get your bag, like, you know, she's making content, she's pumping something out. Like, I saw it that way, which I know is a very niche way of seeing it, but then to hear Alex's perspective from, you know, someone who's not social media forward, to like, put it in a term,
it's not my career.
No. And like even before it was a career, like you've never been a big social media, even when like Instagram first dropped when we were like still in high school and shit, like you weren't.
My instinct isn't to post.
Right. So I do see both sides, because you could also argue like, fuck, she could have been hired by the cafe, their PR firm, to go shoot some beautiful content for their website or, you know, their socials or whatever. So I do see both sides, but it is this, I guess the topic we're getting to here is, it is this kind of line that I find myself walking, and I'm sure a lot of you guys relate, of like the modern world we live in. It is very normal to share what you're doing, and not only share it, but like our generation is so obsessed with capturing everything, because I think we're all scared we're gonna forget or some shit. I don't know. And I'm to blame too. I take pictures you should see my fucking camera roll. My camera roll so compared to what you see on my socials it's like, I take pictures of things that I'm like, I'm going to post, and I never post it. And that's fine, because I do also do the thing where I go back and like scroll and like kind of reminisce a little bit.
Yeah.
Beside the point.
But no, that's totally part of it, because I'm not I don't take pictures, but I'm always so envious of both you and Leanna, who have Leanna's
so good at it.
You on crack.
Yes. Like, Leanna documents everything.
And I could literally be thinking of a memory, and I could text Leanna and be like, what did we do on this day? I need photos. And it could be a random day at the house.
It was like, what was that one time we were trying to figure out a memory?
We were trying to figure out what party we went to, and we were looking at Uber receipts.
Yes. It was such like an irrelevant meaning, but the way we were tracking it down, and like
Leanna had photos.
We narrowed down our answer, or we actually didn't end up getting the exact answer, but we narrowed down most of our hypothesis with Leanna's camera roll, because she has so much shit. It's just it's crazy.
Sidebar, but we were trying to figure out where we went after that night at what's that restaurant that we used to go to?
Tess?
No. The outside
Spartina. Yes.
Remember we were like, where did we go after this night?
Oh, I'm gonna keep.
I know it's
almost
I spiral about it.
It's one of those memories because, like, for the most part, out of the four of us, if we have one of us doesn't remember something, the other one will.
Yeah.
This is the one memory where like nobody knows.
We actually
we
can't don't know what we did on this night out.
And I think like it accidentally got deleted.
It's my Roman
in like
Empire.
the fucking simulation or something.
Totally. Beside the point. But Leanna has all of these photos. You have all these photos of memories of our life in LA and like all of these beautiful things that we have done. And I don't have anything.
Right. And like, that's the line I walk though. Cause like in those moments you could also argue, it's like when people are like, I'm a good multitasker. It's like, well, multitasking, you're not putting 100% into both things. Right. And that's proven. That's like brainwave proven. So I'm like, is that what I'm doing when I'm, I think I'm multitasking in a moment by documenting it, but like I'm not in the actual moment? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's why we want to talk about it because I'm sure a lot of people relate to this. And I think I've gotten way better with it over time where it did used to take me out of the moment, but now I'm able to do it while I'm in the moment. At least I think so. And you're an outsider and you're with me in 95% of those moments. What do you think?
It made me think about it as like kind of referencing what we saw at the cafe yesterday. Based on my reaction and your reaction, I sat and thought how I've been around you filming things for the past 7 years. I've been around a small like number of people where this is their career, but I've never felt detached from a moment because you are filming. And I just remember thinking how like Gov Ball, for example, everyone got to see like how much fun we had at Gov Ball, but it didn't take away from your moments or the people around you's moments because like it was so natural. And I think that's a balance with documenting an experience and also experiencing that experience that I think, I'm not going to say mastered because no one's mastered anything, but you have a really good hold on. You're really good at, it doesn't take away from a moment. And like even Yosemite,
I'm like, put my eyes in check. Like,
right. Good. Even Yosemite, like you and Leanna took so many photos and we have the album that we have from Yosemite.
Oh, it's so great.
Oh my God. It documented every moment and I'm so grateful, but it did not take away from any bit of the experience.
Right.
And it's such a hard thing to do.
Speaking for myself, I am that way because I've been around the opposite.
Right.
I've been around the people that, this is how I look at it in my brain. Help me if I'm not spitting this out correctly. I document moments. I don't create moments to document.
100%. Okay. That's an episode. Like that's what I think.
I just figured everything out.
That was the tug of war that was happening in my brain yesterday again, when I was sitting there and I was like, she's not even drinking the coffee, but everyone who's going to see this content is going to think, oh my God, that coffee's so good.
Day there.
Yeah. And it's just like, what is this doing to social media? At what point are we going to take content for just what it is, content? Like,
I do think we're getting better.
Yeah.
I think, I go back to like 2016 and even like 2015 when like your Instagram theme was everything and these like flat lay photography was everything and everything was posed and color story and all that. It was definitely more of a curated and from like I think we started realizing we could use social media for marketing and at that point, all we knew of marketing was what we've known since, the 50s, which was smiles and shiny and perfect. Yep. And like that will market the thing, market happiness, market the dream, market the product. So I think that's how we started viewing how we should use social media once people started using it for brand shit. And then, so like that had its time, but I do feel like we're getting away from
raw.
it. Like we haven't been using filters since I want to say, like, honestly, like maybe like 2021.
Right. Instagram filters, like the swiping filters.
Yeah, like color filters, not like the filters that you have a question above your head. That's a different category in my head. But yeah, so I do think we're getting better at it, which is nice. But yeah, it's something that I'm always so worried about because, like I said, I've been around it. So in those moments for me, it is going through my head. Like when I did whip out the camera in Yosemite or whatever, I think I've just conditioned myself to like, before I whip it out, I hold it in my hand for a little bit to make sure nobody's like looks. Cause I know right away when someone doesn't.
You're very
fuck with
self-aware with
it. It's like, it's a thing.
Right.
And if I know someone is like, I could tell by body language in their eyes the second they, cause it's a reaction you can see. And if anybody listening, if you're somebody not comfortable around cameras, you know what I mean. When you see one, you run or you go behind a person or you turn your head, and which is, I'm never one to not be okay with that. I even asked when we got there, the people that I did know that were uncomfortable with cameras, I said, hey, I plan on documenting some of this trip. If you don't want to be in it, tell me. And they were all so thankful that I even asked.
Yep.
I think like little moments like that are helpful. But anyway, I bring out the camera. I can always assess if anybody is cool with it or not. And if the vibe isn't there, I put it away and I'm like, I'm just not supposed to document this right now.
Right.
But obviously when I'm around certain friends that I know are going to be fine with it, like me, you and Liza went to dinner the other night.
Right.
Started fucking pouring. It was crazy. And
it was so cool.
It's in my vlog because I did whip out my camera and you both were like laughing and you were fine with it.
Right. Of course.
So I think it's just about knowing your audience.
And knowing your audience.
Because I know how it feels when it's whipped out and you don't want to be in it.
Oh my God.
It's the worst feeling.
Hermit. I hermit.
It's the worst feeling to be recorded when you don't want to be.
Yeah. And sorry to keep bringing it back to yesterday, but
it's the reason we're talking about it.
And I haven't stopped thinking about it. But there was a point where she started walking around the cafe and she was behind me. So I was like clearly in the front of the and the camera was like fully facing me. So I was clearly like in the forefront of the shot. And I'm like sitting there working and I'm like looking up and like, I don't want to be fucking in your,
of course,
aesthetic cafe shot.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm hoping she was just zoomed in.
Yeah.
Like it was probably punched in a lot, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I mean, for the shot, just like technically it wouldn't be smart for her to have all these random people when she's in the back.
Right.
But like, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. It's just the fact that the camera was facing my direction and she was standing, like I was sitting on the couch and the couch was a big like loop around the cafe and she was standing right behind me.
It was like a big plant wall. So she was getting that kind of backdrop.
Yeah.
That's a big thing where that's a whole other sector of this is I am very nervous when I film in public, and that has never gotten easier. I was at TJ Maxx the other day and I was filming and like I wish like when you guys see the end product, it's it's just me shopping around, but I wish you could see the awkwardness that it takes to get one sentence out. If someone walks by, I like grab my camera and I act like I'm not filming. Like I probably look so sus. They sure think I'm shoplifting. Like,
right. The fact that you're tucking things in your jacket.
I'm like looking around and then like you could even, or maybe only I could tell, or call me out if you could tell. Maybe you could tell if you watched Alex. Like, even the way I'm talking is kind of like, and this is a perfume. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little more. I'm not as like I wouldn't talk the way I'm talking right now. But yeah, public filming it's a beast because you are getting other people into it. But then you can also argue like that's why it's legal to film in public, because if you go in public, you are consenting to be like caught in anything, honestly.
And like I'm glad we're talking about this because it's just so weird being on both sides of it and like seeing you literally do this for your career, because I want to be like, no shame, get the shot.
Yeah. Don't
care what people think, because like I see you do it and like I don't give a fuck that you have a camera out. So it's just weird that I felt that way also.
Well, it's back to what we're saying. It's because they created the moment for the shot. It wasn't just, hey babe, let's go try this coffee shop. Right. Oh, let me get a few shots of it. Okay, let's put the camera away. Cheers, and talk about what we're gonna do for the rest of the day in New York.
Right. I think it would have caught my eye way less, if at all, if that was the scenario.
Totally. Yeah. And like when I do film in public for like food purposes and stuff, I always do it in the beginning and then cameras away.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying the rest of the dinner.
Totally.
And yeah.
And even thinking about like we did a restaurant review for Patreon.
Yep.
So we went to Sia's and Charlie, and like We were,
the place is so good.
oh, so good. Their soup.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, best soup in New York City. We were like filming our face, but then we would like still set down the camera and like eat our
keep
meal
talking
and keep
about
talking.
it. And yeah, we'd even go deeper into the explanation of why we liked it, cameras off, just to each other.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Is I know we're talking heavy on like the social media side, but I really hope you guys can kind of listen to this in a lens of like
being in the moment.
Yeah, just applying it even when you're just documenting for your own self.
Yes.
For your own camera roll or whatever you do with your pictures that you take through over the years. Grab the moment to remember, but then put it down and stay present. And
we talk about a lot like
people just don't do it.
A big goal of ours, I think this was even on our resolutions and shit, but like we consistently want to be in the moment. And I think especially being in a place like New York City, it's so easy to like get out of your head, and being in the moment is a very hard task to do, even on like especially on top of things like capturing the moment.
Yep.
And documenting something that you're experiencing. And it's finding the balance of, are you experiencing it? Oh, like what you said, my head just went there.
Yeah.
Are you experiencing just to get the content?
Yeah. Which there's a time and place for that too. I've had those moments too, where like, I mean, like we went to see Iz and Charlie purely for a video idea.
Yeah.
And we went and we did it. And that's fine. Maybe you just might not even have a problem with this, to be completely honest. Like, I don't know. This could just be very niche within like the circle we're in and like the industry we walk along.
I think there's still a lot of, especially with social media, there's still a lot of pressure to make everything that you do look good.
Yeah.
And
like trend
pretty.
and to like go viral on TikTok. And
exactly. Yeah. And it made me think about how important it is to experience things, even if they're ugly and they're not documented.
They're not like perfectly aesthetic.
They're still going to be a good memory for you.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, and you're like, I don't relate to this like thought process before I pull out my phone because I just don't do that at all. Well, then the part of this episode that we want you to take home is when you are on social media and you're scrolling and you start to like feel envy or anything towards a certain post that someone's doing. Yes, they are at that thing. And if you were there, you would probably make it a really cool memory because you would be present. But like, just know that there's a chance that they took the picture and they dipped.
Yeah. And
I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it though. There was this TikTok I saw. It was this guy and he was like, I just want you guys to know. And he's like, I live in LA, blah, blah, blah. I just want you guys to know, like, the influencer you see online at that like crazy party that's like looks so poppin' and everything, just know that like they got that shot and then they went and stood in the corner to edit it to then post it for you to see. That was like the epitome of this fucking conversation. I was like, that is so beyond true. It's disgusting. Can confirm that is exactly what's happening. And like, I even think about all the footage that's going around or that just went around at Charlie XCX's birthday party. And like Lord was there. And like, it was like, they rented out this little like hole in the wall bar in Hollywood and just had like a rager. So fun. But if you look at the video of them, it's just people with, it's kind of freaky phones just in them, like partying. And like her and Lord are like, you know, they're going crazy, whatever. Like it's actually her birthday. Like she's probably fucked up and like go her as you should. But the way people are just documenting it because they're like, oh, this is Lord and Charlie XCX just raging. And then they got that and they probably went to the corner to post it first.
Right.
And like, I'm not going to sit here and say I wouldn't get a video of those two icons partying, but I would get a video and then slip it in my pocket and then go party at the same time. And I think that's the balance that we're talking about is, of course, capture some dope shit. Like, why wouldn't you? But
experience,
like, put the phone away.
Yeah, put the phone away and experience what you just captured, knowing that other people are going to see it.
Yes, because then you'll look back at said post or said thing in your camera roll and you'll just know, oh, I took that and I actually remember that moment. And I remember the song that was on. I remember the funny dance move Alex did, the drink I had in my hand, whatever. Like, you'll remember more than just the moment on camera. Whereas if you just captured it and left,
that's all your experience was taking the photo.
You're at that point, you're just a photographer. And like, that's cool and all, but like, that's not what we're talking about.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's the balance because you know, I don't want to act like I'm perfect at it either, but I think I've gotten just so much better at it over the years. And I have so many amazing fucking memories, and like we'll continue to make so many more, and like
to continue to capture them.
Yeah. I've done some really cool shit in my life, and I'm glad I have a lot to show for it. Sure. Just like, even like I think about like The Notebook. She lost her memory, guys. Right. I'm like, if she had her phone.
And even this, like what we talk about all the time, like
we're
podcast,
we're gonna show. We sit here and rehash once a week together, twice a week.
Yes.
And like
we're gonna show our kids that. And like we're gonna show our kids the fucking baby name episode.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah,
I love
could cry.
No, for sure. But like that's so special. But also what's special is how much over the and we just hit our 4-year. August 3rd was the anniversary. I almost said the reservation.
We're 4.
The anniversary of our first episode. So go us.
Say happy birthday.
Say happy birthday in the comments. But like I was saying, we have it documented, but not only that, we also have developed our friendship sitting here over the past 4 years. In more moments than not, I forget that thing's even recording right
100%.
there. And like,
and the way
that's
that
a part of this memory.
And the way that both of us have grown so much because of what we talk about.
Yep.
And how we are able to like sit here and process through some really heavy shit sometimes. And also like really beautiful moments in our life, like moving here. We have all those memories, but we still also lived it.
Yep, absolutely. We didn't just like sit here and like, I mean, God, this is a big thing that we deal with every week. Is you should see our list of episode ideas.
Oh my
like we have, I mean, that's the beauty of the podcast industry. It's infinite. You could talk about anything and everything at any moment.
Yep.
We only talk about things that are relevant to us. Hence this topic. It literally happened yesterday. We only talk about things that are relevant to us, because then it would feel ingenuine if we're talking about shit that isn't relevant to us. Sure, it would still be, you know, taken in by you guys, and I'm sure it would still be a great episode and blah, blah, blah. Like, but it would feel more like a presentation rather than connecting with each other and in turn you guys. I don't know. That's a little bit more niche too, though.
Well, no, I mean, we literally have had another plan for this episode, and
completely different plan.
A completely different plan for a topic we'll eventually talk about, and it's still so.
That's the thing. Like, it's still so
it's relevant, but important,
but it's not relevant right now.
Not right now. No. Yeah. But we literally sat here about to start talking, and we were like, wait, this like
we paused it and like took a break.
This doesn't apply right now.
Yeah. We're like, do you feel no? Do you feel no? Okay, let's talk about something else.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird thing trying to attach what you put out into the world with like what your world actually looks like.
And part of me does feel like I'm getting to the point in recording, and this happens every episode, by the way. Towards the end of our topics, I get into production mode where I'm already starting to think of how this is portrayed by you guys. And I'm already starting to think that about this episode. And I don't want this topic to come off. I never want us to sound like a broken record, or like sometimes I'm like, no shit. Like why are we over explain things so much when like it could be common sense to people. So that might be the case for some of you.
But it might spark something in someone.
Yeah. And I also think millennials are the last generation where we do know life without the internet.
Yeah.
And those of you who aren't millennials, and this isn't a fucking bash generations thing. I hate that narrative on TikTok. It's so dead. Yeah. We're beating a dead horse. It's not funny anymore. Anyway, but what I'm saying is like those of you who do only know life with the internet, it's fun and games until you realize you're living for this, like, what is truly a made up thing.
Yeah.
Like, what even is the internet? Don't let me spiral. But yeah, I hope it resonates with younger generations.
Yeah. And I'm curious to know if this is something that you've like had to consciously be aware of in your everyday life while you're like, even seeing my little cousin with social media, all of my little cousins with social media, they're Gen Z. Are they Gen Z or are they the one lower?
I don't know.
I don't know the cutoff. But seeing them have social media and like social media, them being on YouTube since they were literally like able to hold a camera, how do they navigate the world not knowing the difference? You know?
That's exactly. And that's what I hope maybe we could shed some light on in like a digestible way. Because there's so many books and studies and da-da-da. But I mean, I get overwhelmed by that. So I can only imagine.
I just want to talk to you guys.
Right. Like I just speaking from experience and speaking from how you have, you know, the perspective of seeing your younger cousins and everything. Like, yeah, it's regardless of generation. I take back the generation point. It's just life before internet, life after internet.
Yeah. Right.
Like that's a better way to look at it rather than like where you land in your generation. Because who cares? I guess this is kind of a sidebar, but when I was in LA recently, we went to Broad Street in Malibu. Best fucking seafood. And they opened up a cafe. So do you remember the cafe that was next to them? I don't remember the name of it, but it's to the left of Marmalade.
Yes.
It was just like some generic cafe, no like big brand or nothing. They bought that out and now it's Broad Street Coffee. They have their own roast.
God.
They have soft serve. Like
they're so cool.
They're so cool. Anyway, the decor, even in Broad Street Oyster, you know, the decor is like retro kind of surfer, like 90s
like crabs
vibe.
on the wall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in there they had like a old VHS TV.
Cool.
And it was just had like just like
static.
That static. And it was this dad and these two little girls and they were like, Dad, what is that? And he was like, that TV, or they said like, what's playing on the TV? And he said, oh, they're just showing what TVs were like before internet. And he just made like a funny dad joke that they didn't even went right over their head. And the little girl walks up and she's tapping it.
Oh,
isn't that so crazy? She's tapping it and she's like looks at her other little sister and they're like, what the like I could tell they're like, huh, and they just walk away, whatever. It was
but they thought it was an iPad.
Yeah, they were like
a small TV like that probably is the size of an iPad.
Yeah, the screen was probably. I know. It was so crazy.
That
to
makes
see.
me feel super weird.
I know. It was like a little Black Mirror moment in a way.
Yeah.
Another Black Mirror moment I saw on TikTok, this girl, she stitched this video of this girl being like, just a big influencer, and she just had a kid, and she was like holding the baby, you know, just like you hold a newborn, they're all like nuzzled in your neck, so you couldn't see its face. I don't know, their face.
Right.
And she was like, face reveal is up on my YouTube channel now.
Oh my God.
Imagine a face reveal.
For your baby.
Face reveal.
Face
I laugh
reveal.
in nervousness.
Because it's actually crazy.
It's crazy. And then there's some shit going around about how some girl like filmed her friend's baby's funeral.
Oh my God.
Yeah, called it a function.
Shut the fuck up.
I know. Those are the moments where I'm like, hey, that
we
lives
don't need
offline.
Internet. We don't need the internet.
Lives offline. That doesn't need to be on the internet.
That's crazy. Oh my God.
I know.
I don't even have a word.
I know. It made me so itchy.
I'm still thinking about face reveal.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I even like going off things that don't need to live on the internet. Maybe rip off some of those right now. Hello, where are my words? I even felt that way, like talking about like my breakup and shit. How do these people even have the balls to be posting that type of shit?
Right.
Like,
I think about the people. I'm sorry, I'm gonna sig for a minute. I think about the people who post like their
like ER wristbands.
Yes, their hospital bracelets.
You guys know how many times I've been in the ER and you don't know about it within the past 4 months?
But they like hold it up and they like have a sad face
for people to fucking respond.
But then they don't say anything.
Nope.
It makes my fucking blood boil. If you're gonna post a photo like that on your story or wherever I feel
or just like in the hospital bed and they like put up a peace sign. I'm like,
right,
you're lame.
Do that. But if people ask what happened, don't go silent. Because you clearly want the attention. No, maybe not attention. You want to share what happened.
Yeah.
You want to share your experience.
At the base of it, I think it is a lot of attention.
It's a lot of attention. But if you're going to get that attention, fucking respond and tell people why you're in there.
Or yeah, let it be like I'm in here because
Even if
I
it's
was
like
dehydrated, so PSA to drink water, like
Right.
something like
Or if
make
it's
it like a message. Then I don't know.
or if it's like a funny story, like, oh, I jumped off this thing and broke my leg.
toe,
Like,
yeah.
look at this video of a cool backflip.
Right.
And it's like a thing. But the people who do that and then don't fucking say anything, oh my God, I can't stand it.
I cannot stand it.
You don't need to be on the internet.
This is maybe a little off, but one thing I really don't like when people film you when you wake up. And I see parents on TikTok do this to their kids.
Yeah.
That's a whole other issue is filming
Oh my
kids.
God,
So
yeah.
That's beside the point, kind of. But like when people like those type of vulnerable moments, you just woke up.
They're
or
super
like
vulnerable.
when it's like you're like off guard.
That's fight or flight right there.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
a fight or flight.
If I woke up to a camera in my face, like
First of all, I don't know
I'm
where
swatting.
I already don't know where I'm at because I never know where I'm at when I wake up.
oh really?
No.
Always?
A lot of the time.
I used to happen to me a lot. Whenever I'd have
Especially-
sleepovers, I would think I woke up at home.
Really?
Before I open my eyes, I'd be like, am I in my bed? And then I'd be like,
Yes.
oh shit, I'm not in my bed.
I think about it happens to me more so when I'm traveling a lot and because we just came
Like
back from a
bouncing
trip.
around.
Yeah, it happens before I open my eyes. I think, okay, I'm on my left side. Am I gonna about to wake up to
Like this wall,
or
like-
this wall?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that happens to me a lot.
I guess I have had that
Yeah.
a little bit in my adulthood, but a
So
lot
like very
growing up.
vulnerable. If I woke up to a camera on top of that feeling,
Yep.
scary.
Yeah. There's a fine line. No, it's actually not that fine to me of like when you should film someone.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. I guess it depends. Like,
unknowingly too.
yeah, and if it's like to get a reaction,
Yeah,
like something funny is about to walk through the door. I don't
Of
know.
course.
I can't.
no, that's
spit it out.
valid. But if you're like playing a prank on them in a vulnerable moment, and they're like, "Wait, guys, hold on, something just
Yeah,
happened."
yeah.
Like that's the shit where I'm like, "Okay, guys, read the fucking room."
Exactly. Don't bring out your camera. But like on the other side of that, of like things that shouldn't be filmed, something that I wish was filmed recently is round of applause, everybody. My sister just got engaged.
Yeah, and like to have footage of that.
And we don't have anything.
Yeah, agreed.
And like, sure, they have it in their memories, and I'm glad, obviously, like whatever. But selfishly, I'm like, yo,
I want to see that moment.
I helped pick out the ring. Like, I'm making it about me. I wanted to see.
You want to
it.
see it's as if it was just like a simple surprise that you were a part of, but
Yeah.
like you wanted to see the
Like,
reaction of.
I wanted to see it all come
Totally.
together because I knew it was happening and everything, but I wanted to see it like.
I love engagement videos on TikTok.
I at least want a hidden camera at mine.
Yeah.
I don't like the ones where they're all up in your shit, but like
I think they could take away from the moment.
100%.
Yeah.
But I want a hidden camera.
Valid.
Just a hidden camera shot, even if it's someone zoomed in on a phone. I don't even care if it's necessarily high def. Like,
Right.
I do want it documented.
Right.
I'm gonna want to replay it over and over again more than I
Totally.
already am in my head.
I think I would want the same. But yeah,
there's
right.
oh, I guess
Engagements.
I
and
could
like,
tell you guys how it happened.
ooh, it's a good story.
So, my sister, I mean, you guys have met her a little bit on here. She was a
Yeah,
guest, and
she was a
like
guest.
season 2 or something.
Monica, we reference her a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just this like ambiguous figure. She's my higher power. She had no idea, which was so crazy
Surprising.
because she's the hardest bitch to surprise. Like she's also incredibly intuitive and can like smell you from a mile away. So when I went ring shopping with her fiance, I was obviously in the Bay, and I fly in that Friday, and Monica's like, "Hey, are you gonna, like, cool, you're here, come over tonight, like we'll have a chill movie night, and then like tomorrow we'll do something fun with the kids, Saturday or whatever." And I was like, I'm getting in late Thursday, so I'm gonna spend the whole day with Leanna and her family on Friday. I just haven't seen them in a minute, and then I'll come over to your house like late Friday night or something. And she was like, "Oh, okay, cool, whatever, that's fine, I'll just go in the office, I won't work from home." What I was really doing is I left my phone at Leanna's because she obviously has my location, and my sister's one of those people that
Like
check
scrolls.
locations like it's like her Sims.
I do that.
I don't do that.
I'm constantly like, where are my friends?
Which is great because like someone's got to keep track, but like I do not touch that shit. Anyway, so I left my phone at Leanna's. I took Leanna's car to meet her fiance at a restaurant downtown Walnut Creek because he then had to tell her he had a work meeting at said restaurant. So then he left his phone in the car parked right outside the restaurant. He got in my car, or I took Leanna's car, and then we drove to a
jeweler.
What's why am I forgetting it?
Zales?
Shanko.
Nice.
Yeah. We drove to Shanko.
Very Bay Area of him.
Right. So we like do the whole ring thing, whatever. We actually found the ring pretty quick. It definitely it jumped out to us, and we both were like,
"That's the one.
That's the one."
I still haven't gotten like a good photo of it.
I have one. I'll show you it.
Okay.
So like we pick it out, whatever, and then one of the workers there, she's a friend of my cousin. I had never met her though, but she was like, "Oh, are you Kristen? Like I'm so and so's friend." Da, da, da. And I was like, "Yes, I am, but do not tell said cousin." That you saw me, please. Like we're shopping. And she's like,
this is
trust
serious.
Me. She even said, she's like, when I see people that I know in here, I don't tell anybody. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that makes
valid.
Sense.
She's probably used to that.
She's used to that. Right. Yeah. That was back in like April or May. Time goes by, whatever. I didn't know he was going to do it. When was this? This is just a few days ago. Sunday night?
Sunday.
No,
Saturday.
Was that when we were playing Scrabble?
Yeah.
Was that Saturday or Sunday? It doesn't matter.
Sunday.
It was last weekend. Yeah, I didn't know he was going to do it. But when I was in the Bay last, which was right before Yosemite or right after Yosemite, my sister was like, I think she was like outside gardening or something. And he was like, okay, I think I'm going to ask soon. Like, but I want to ask your stepdad for like, I always forget the term, but when
her
you
hand,
ask her, you know,
her hand in marriage,
you ask the girl for the dad. I think it's just blessing. Yes, for his blessing or something like that. Whatever. He's like, I want to ask Phil, and I was like, okay, like cool, like do that, whatever. He schedules a lunch with Phil, and in my head, I'm like, Monica's absolutely gonna know because like they're not like tight by any means, and that'd be the first lunch they've ever been on ever in their relationship. So like, I thought she would know, but she totally didn't think anything of it because her fiance had been talking about how he's like, he wants to try out archery and and my stepdad's like super big into archery. So she thought, oh, I thought they were just going to go like talk archery shit.
Right.
Which I'm like,
just like
well played. Yes. So when we were trying to brainstorm ways to do it, I was like, I mean, what if you like went on a trip? And he was like, no, my sister's so like casual, easygoing gal. And he's like, if I tell her, hey, I have something booked, up in Fort Bragg, blah, 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 she's gonna know. I don't want her to know at all. And I'm like, hey, you're so right. I was like, okay, well, what's something you guys do? Just the two of you. It's kind of your little thing you do ever so often. Just like special to you. And he was like, oh, I know. We actually, whenever we can't sleep, we roll over, look at each other in bed and go, late night Taco Bell. And they DoorDash Taco Bell. He goes down to grab it at the front door. She stays in bed. He brings it back upstairs and they eat Taco Bell in bed. It's like their thing.
So cute.
I was like, well, boom. I know my sister's Taco Bell order. And I know for a fact she's getting a side of chips and cheese, the nacho little thing, the nacho like side, not the nacho bel grande. And I was like, put the ring in the cheese. And then she's going to scoop it and
see the ring
and hopefully not break a tooth. And he was like, oh, that's absolutely it. So that's exactly what he did. They had Taco Bell this past weekend and he did the whole thing. And then I got a call the next morning. We were sitting here playing Scrabble actually. And she just like shows her finger in the camera. And the fact that I still knew it was happening. I'm
so glad you didn't know though. I'm glad you got
I still was able to like,
yeah, it was like really cool seeing the moment between you two and like her show you. Because I feel like if you knew that he was going to do it the night before, you wouldn't have had that. Oh my God.
I would have answered him and like,
I knew.
Got it. Yeah. And that's like not fun for her either.
No, I'm glad you didn't know.
Me too. The surprise was I lost it. It was really cool to see and like such a special moment because so she was married before, but you know they were so young and her and I weren't even as close when they got married and like it was such a different scenario. Still a beautiful love, but just it was just a different time and
they didn't have like a wedding or anything either, huh?
No, and they didn't want to, and it was like that was that relationship. But now seeing like how happy she was, and what's even crazier is like I think it was like the day before my sister always does her own nails. My sister's like really good at doing nails.
Yeah, it was like a manicure.
She's incredible. She did her own nails and she sent me a picture and she's like, look at my nails, whatever, normal thing. I didn't even think anything of it. And then I was like, when she showed me the ring, I'm like, good thing you just did your nails. She's like, dude, I know. Because usually like her stuff will just kind of be like blank or whatever.
And I guess her fiance had saw that she did her manicure and was like, oh my God, I gotta hop on this.
Yeah. And because she was super happy. So I know at home, she's probably like, babe, look.
Yeah.
Look, I just did my nails. Yeah.
Oh, are they going to have like a full blown wedding? Do you know?
I don't know. I think if they do, it'll be chill. Like
intimate.
I actually, a few months ago, like even before the ring shopping, I think I showed you this TikTok too. I sent it to both of them and I was like, if y'all get married, this is how your wedding has to be. It was this TikTok of this couple that like rented out like a hole in the wall pub and just put like fun, like almost like 80s prom, like streamers and just like cheap decor. And like the only thing that I think they spent money on was obviously renting the shit out, but
and a photographer,
a photographer. Yep. And then branded matchbooks. Like that was it. And it was such just like a fun bar vibe and like it wasn't huge or anything. I was like, I could see you guys doing this.
Totally.
And they were like, yeah. So I think they'll do something small like that. I don't think my sister's not one to be like bridezilla or nothing. Like I don't even know what she would do for a dress. We did recently just get my grandma's wedding dress. So I wonder if she'll like do something with that, or I could even see her wearing it, to be completely honest.
Yeah, like as is. It's probably really short.
Oh yeah, my grandma was super
She was
short.
like 5 foot.
Yeah, it's gonna be
and
like
Monica's
it's gonna
like
be
my
like a
height,
mini
right?
skirt.
Yeah. It would be cute for her to make it a mini dress.
I mean, like for like the after party or something.
Stop! I'm gonna cry.
We don't want to cut it though.
No,
we're not. No, we're not.
So it's either wear it or don't.
You either wear it or we're gonna say maybe we can both agree to like if we are gonna cut it to do something with it. But I think we want to keep it a dress.
Yeah. You could, there's seamstresses out there that'll like take it off panel by panel, take it apart panel by panel. So it's still like dress form, but like you could have the bodice or she could have the skirt. Like it could still be intact as a dress, but piece by piece.
Differently. Yeah. Like, okay. That could be cool.
Yeah.
That I would be okay with because in theory you could put it back together. It sounds like, right?
Probably. Yeah.
I don't like when people are like, make a pillowcase or a quilt or like a scrunchie. I saw someone do that the other day.
With a dress?
Yes, they were like
with a wedding dress.
It was like wedding hack.
Oh,
like take your old wedding dress and make it into a scrunchie.
I would rather donate my wedding dress to someone in need than turn it into a scrunchie.
That's crazy. Or I honestly, I think I would just keep mine. I still have my prom dress.
I see so many TikToks of people try, you know how it's like a thing to freeze your wedding cake and then eat it like year on your first year anniversary.
Seems weird.
Seems super weird. But I see a lot of TikToks of people eating their cake a year later and they're like, wait, this isn't the flavor that we ordered.
Oh, because they never even like had it the night of.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Imagine.
That's actually really funny. Yeah, that I don't know if I would do that. If anything, I would like say like, hey, let's reorder our wedding cake every year. Yeah. Not like a big one, but like the same flavor and like a small cupcake or some shit.
Even if it's like pumpkin cake or whatever.
Who the fuck?
Not pumpkin cake, carrot cake, orange. I thought orange.
Imagine getting pumpkin cake at your wedding.
I meant carrot cake.
Not even if it was an October wedding.
No.
I think I just want like vanilla cake.
Yeah.
I love cake.
I would want like a
red velvet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like the color of love.
Yeah. It's cute. I think I just want like, just a wedding cake. Like literally what a wedding cake is in like a baking setting. It's the white cake.
White cake.
Just white cake. With like white
frosting. Yeah.
And
Betty Crocker.
Maybe you know what would be nice? A little layer like fresh strawberries.
Yum.
Not some jam shit.
No.
Fresh, organic strawberries.
Super yummy.
I want cake, I think. Doesn't that sound good? The other night,
something sounds good.
We went to, we went to this little wine bar down the stairs. It's not a wine bar. It's actually a full Italian restaurant. But we always walk past it and we were like, we should just go check it out.
Yeah.
And we sat at the bar.
The reviews are great. 5 stars. 5.0.
Excellent reviews. It was cool. It was cool. But all we got was dessert and wine. Well, first the plan was, let's just go get a dessert to go and come back home, and like we'll keep watching Love is Blind UK.
Oh.
Anybody watching?
Everyone hop on.
It's super good. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it next episode. And then we were just like putting on a sweatshirt or whatever, and Alex is like, should we get a glass of wine too? And we're like, okay, let's
So we
go
got,
sit
like,
at
a
the
little
bar.
cute.
And yeah, like put another jacket on. I don't know. We just changed our outfit a little bit. And then we went, and I got a creme brulee, and Alex got, she thought it was going to be a cake, but it was called a mousse cake.
Okay. It still had the word cake in it. Let's be real.
It was called
I was so mad.
The guy came up and said, which one's better? And you were like, that one. Points to mine.
Yeah. Okay, I wanted, the whole point of all of this was because I wanted chocolate lava cake. So I saw a chocolate mousse cake, and I'm like, all right, it's going to kind of give me that, because I'm thinking it's going to be layered cake and then a little bit of mousse and then layered cake. Is that not valid? The whole thing was mousse in the shape of a cake. Fuck off. I was pissed.
I'm not saying you're like a crazy girl for thinking that, but
You
I
would
think
assume
if you would have
mousse?
gave it one more brain cell, you would.
You would assume mousse.
Yes.
No cake.
Yes.
You would assume no cake, and it had cake in the title?
Because, well, I think it's just the shape of a cake.
Yeah, but that's like, that's crazy to me. That's like calling it mousse ice cream, but it not being ice cream.
Hear me out. A cheesecake, there's not cake in that. It's the shape of a
Right.
cake. Anyway, we got a glass of wine, and then I swear they did us up another glass.
Yeah, they did. They gave
And
us 2
I
glasses.
did not feel good the next day. We had
No.
2 glasses of wine and
I was-
sugar before
I
bed.
was like kind of drunk.
No,
and
same. I was like, should we go out? And we were like, no. It's Thursday.
I came back
or
and I was
Wednesday.
like planning to read my book.
You couldn't even read.
No, I couldn't. Not that I couldn't read it, but I was like,
You're like, I'm not there.
I'm not there, and I'm dozing off. Like, I was so tired.
I was drunk.
Yes.
And then I had Pilates scheduled the next morning.
Oh, you canceled?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't.
That's when I canceled this morning.
Yeah.
I went, and I thought I'd be fine. I was like, it's just a one glass, whatever. I go, and I can't stop yawning. I'm like half-assed doing every exercise. My teacher came up to me not once, but twice and asked if I was okay. And it'd be one thing if like I like was tight with her, but like that was probably the second time I've ever had her.
Right.
So it's not like she was like, hey, Garrett. Like she was like, are you okay?
Like
she was doing
checking,
her job.
yeah, she was checking in on you because you were probably like,
And it was a level 1 class. Like it was not that hard of a class. Like I'm out here doing 2.5s. And
Right.
like I was
struggling.
holy fuck. So yeah, I don't want to drink wine.
You don't want cake anymore
No, why do we talk about this?
because you said you wanted
wedding
cake.
cakes. Okay.
I am hungry.
Hi, hungry. I'm dad.
You're not my dad.
We are losing steam. We need to wrap it up.
All right, guys.
Everybody have a great rest of your week.
For Patreon, again, if you don't know, we have a Patreon where every Friday you get an extra episode, and there's 3 tiers. You can choose from 3 different tiers there. Friday episodes they usually have to do with Monday's episode. Sometimes they're just general advice columns. So just go check it out. But for this week's episode,
How do you feel about the whole social media shit?
yeah, where are you at?
Where's
with
your
this?
boundary with documenting shit? Or you like straight up, are you one of those people, also comments below, like feel free even if you're not on our Patreon. Are you one of those people that's like, no, I'm going to whip out my phone and like have no shame? Because there's also a very big part of me that wishes I was like that too.
Yes.
Like
Agreed.
this topic is not because one is right, one is wrong. We are always more than open to hearing your
Every
side
angle.
of it. Like this is fully up for discussion. So yeah, curious to know your guys' perspective on all that.
If you guys are listening on Apple Music, or no, not Apple Music, Apple
do that too.
Podcasts.
Imagine that was fake.
Are we keeping that in?
I thought so.
If you guys are listening on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, then rate us 5 stars and leave a pretty little review and let us know what you think of us.
Comment down below if you could see my leg hair from the camera, because look at that. Like I wonder if it picks up.
Okay, you always say this, but I don't see your hair. I could see hair follicles, but not actual hair. You know what I mean?
Do you have your contacts in?
Yeah.
You're like, no. It looks airbrushed. Continue what you're saying.
Okay, sorry. Leave us a pretty little review. If you guys are watching on YouTube, then rate us 5 stars.
No,
Is that a thing?
subscribe. Subscribe and turn on your notifications for a new episode every single Monday for the rest of our lives.
Ew, drool.
I know, let me drool. Okay.
And leave a comment. We love you guys. Have a good week.
Love you guys.
Happy Monday.
Don't do drugs. Bye.
Bye.